economic justice. He is also a professor of leadership at the University of Richmond. Please welcome Thad Williamson.
I'm about to bend down, okay. Hi everybody, happy May Day. Right now, 25 million people in this country unemployed or underemployed. That's our May Day 2011. Yet, all the talk about our economy is governed by a pernicious myth, in fact a lie. And it goes like this, that we are a resource-strapped country that can't afford to do anything serious about the people without a job, about the people slipping into poverty, about the millions and millions of Americans whose lives are governed by fear and stress and anxiety. And that we can't do anything either about the abusive working conditions, authoritarian working conditions that many millions of workers face. Instead, we're told this has to be an era of belt tightening, austerity, cutbacks, all borne by the poor. This is just false. Here's reality. We are an enormously wealthy society. Wealth created by the hard work of millions of Americans and facilitated by public investments, everything from education to transportation to computer technology. In fact, if we divide up our $15 trillion economy up equally among the 300 million people living here, each household of four would have $190,000 each, or about $125,000 after taxes. Now, where is mine? You may be asking yourself.
That's right.
And the answer is we have allowed income and wealth become incredibly concentrated in this country over the past 30 years, and it wasn't all that equitable before that either. The top 1% now has over 20% of the income, 35% of the wealth, and nearly one-half of corporate stock. In real-world terms, that means the top 1% household has $14 million in wealth. People in the middle, about $65,000, which is down dramatically from just a few years ago because of the crisis. The bottom 20% has about 60 million people negative net worth. Okay, it doesn't have to be like this, and indeed, for a long time in our history, it wasn't. Prior to the destruction of labor unions and the explosion of corporate lobbyists beginning in the 1970s, the political strength of working people in the U.S. helped create an economy that, for a time, really did lift all boats, really did decrease poverty, really did provide a measure of security and decency to working class Americans. But since the 70s, wages and income have been stagnant, even though productivity has gone up. Workers' rights have been under relentless attack, and Americans have tried to keep up economically by working more and more hours if they can, or by borrowing money to keep up. And it's this economic stagnation of the middle and working classes that is the fundamental cause of the recent economic crisis. And it'll be the cause of the next one, too, if our economic policy continues to be dominated by the interests of a narrow elite. So what are we going to do about all this here in Richmond? The route to a better future is to begin creating a genuine alternative to the corporate-dominated economy. The real health of the economy is not in the profit margins of the Fortune 500, but in whether ordinary people have a decent, stable income, live in decent, affordable housing, are treated with respect in their jobs, and when they speak out as citizens, can send their children through effective schools that develop citizens, not just test takers, and when people can enjoy security and free time. Trickle-down corporate-led economics won't get us up to that goal. Instead, we need to be developing new forms of ownership that truly spread the wealth around, in cooperatives and worker-owned firms, community development corporations, community land trusts, community-supported agriculture, community banks, small businesses that are truly local. And we need to be developing these in every low-income neighborhood in the city. Now, is this possible? Of course it is. In Cleveland, Ohio, of all places, the community's leadership is mobilized to create a network of cooperatives. Eventually, there's going to be a $50 million fund. And these networks of cooperatives are creating, providing cutting-edge green products and services to the universities, hospitals, and the city's universities and hospitals, all of which employ local people. We can do that in Richmond, too, if we had the effort and the will and the creativity to do so. And when we start doing that, when we start building alternative institutions that share the wealth, we'll be doing two things. We'll be helping each other in an immediate sense and helping rebuild solidarity across all lines of differences. And we'll be showing the broader community that alternative economic possibilities are not just a pipe dream. They're possible, they can work, they make sense to pursue. America cannot continue on its present path indefinitely, and at some point millions of Americans are going to demand serious change. And one of two things is going to happen. Either it's going to get real ugly, or we're going to pull together and do something that's truly, seriously different. And so when that moment comes, it's up to us to have the alternative ready. Something plausible, something that we can do that's an alternative to the spiteful politics and immigrant bashing, and also an alternative to the wishful liberalism that assumes we just elect somebody and that changes everything. We know that's not the case. So just one more thought. An economy that does not work to improve the living conditions of the working majority is morally bankrupt. The American economy has not been functioning to improve the lives of the majority for over a generation now. A wealthier society should translate into one in which more of us, in fact everyone, enjoys greater economic security, less fear, more dignity, creativity, and power at work, and we have more free time to create our own lives. Instead, it's become a society in which millions of people are facing profound economic pain. Security has disappeared for all but the very rich, and in which those who have jobs are overworked, overstressed, and often consumed by fear of losing their job. Okay, we must demand a better society than this, and we must do our part to make it happen and build it. Thank you. Happy May Day.